In this video, we are going to discuss how to determine whether the trailing zeros in a measurement are significant or not. So in many schools, teachers teach that if there is a unit followed by a number, that the presence of the unit make the trailing zero significant. That is, if you write 1200, the zeros are not significant. But if you write 1200 gram, the zeros are significant. Actually, this is not the case. This should not be like this. I will tell you why. Before trying to see how the zeros, trailing zeros can be, or how you can determine whether they are significant or not, let us look at the rules for determining the total number of significant figures in any measurement. And the first rule is all non-zero digits are significant. So if you write 1, 2, 3, 4, all the 4 digits are significant. Now, a zero appearing between two significant digits is always significant. So if you have two significant digits on either side of a zero, that zero will become 100%, it will become significant. Then in the case of the decimal numbers, all the zeros are significant. So if you write 0.12040, here all the zeros are significant. So the total number of significant figures will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The non-zero, the digits are always significant. Then the trailing zeros are also significant in the case of the decimal numbers. But if you have a number less than 1, then the zero between the decimal point and the first non-zero digit becomes insignificant. So in this case, this zero is not significant because it is appearing between the decimal point and the first non-zero digit. So these are the rules to determine the total number of significant figures in any measurement. Now let us look at the trailing zeros. See, in a measurement, if you want to know whether the trailing zeros are significant or not, you should know the accuracy of the measurement. Accuracy is the difference between the true value and measured value, and it can be considered as the least count of the measuring instrument also. Suppose you measure the mass of a body as 1400 gram. Now you have measured this mass, or you got this value by using a balance of least count 100 gram. When you say that this balance has a least count of 100 gram, the measurements made by this balance will be in steps of 100 only. Which means that if you measure this again, you may be end up with another value which is 1500 gram or maybe 1300 gram. What it means is this, or nothing between 1400 and 1500 gram you will get as a measurement by using this balance, because it measures only in steps of 100 gram. Now if you repeat the measurement by using another balance having a least count of 10 gram, your next possible measurement can be 1110 gram or even 1390 gram, because this balance is measuring within steps of 10 gram. So one of the zeros can be replaced with a non-zero digit. Remember, the trailing zeros are significant only when they can be replaced with non-zero digits. So here you can replace one of the zeros with a non-zero digit. Suppose you repeat the measurement with another balance having a least count of 1 gram, then both the zeros can be replaced with a non-zero digit. You can have a value 1411 or you can have 1399, which means that both the zeros can be replaced with the non-zero digits. Then both the zeros become significant. So clearly, if you don't have any idea about the least count or the accuracy of the measurement, you cannot say whether the trailing zeros are significant or not. So merely by putting a unit at the end of the number does not mean that the zeros are now significant. Now there is another angle to it. There is a rule that the number of zeros are independent of the units that you choose. Suppose you measure the length of a body and you get it as 4 meter. Now you know that the number of significant figures in this 4 is 1. Now if I ask you to write this measurement in CGS system, you will write it as 400 centimeter. Now according to the saying that the trailing zeros are significant if there is a unit, these two zeros suddenly become significant and the number of significant figures increases to 3. which is a violation of the rule that the number of significant figures is independent of the unit. Here clearly they are dependent on the unit chosen. So how to overcome this? This should be reported as 4 into 10 raised to 2 centimeter. That is how the measurement should be written. Then there is only one significant figure in this measurement. So if you refer to the NCERT text, it is very clearly written that to avoid the ambiguity regarding the significance of the trailing zeros, every measurement should be reported in a scientific notation. Now what do you mean by reporting in a scientific notation? Very simple. It is representing the number in terms of the order of magnitude. Order of magnitude means expressing in terms of powers of 10. Suppose, and there are four rules for determining the order of magnitude of a number. And you start with a number 1, 2, 4, 5. Look at the first digit. If it is less than 5, put the decimal after the first digit and express the number as a power of 10. So this is 1.245 into 10 raised to 3. So the order of magnitude of this number is 3. Now you have another number which is 7164. How to represent this in power of 10? Put the decimal before the first digit and express it as a power of 10. So this is into 10 raised to 4. So you look at the power of 10, which is 4. So the order of magnitude of this number is 4. Now what if the first digit is exactly 5? There are two rules. If the first digit is exactly 5 followed by all zeros or nothing, put the decimal after 5 and express the number as a power of 10. Suppose you have 50. Then put the decimal after 5. 5.0 into 10 raised to 1. So the order of magnitude of this number is 1. Now if there is at least one non-zero digit after 5, again the first number is 5, and there is at least one non-zero digit after 5, then put the decimal before 5 and express the number as a power of 10. So this is into 10 raised to 3. So the order of magnitude is 3. So these are the rules for determining the order of magnitude of a number, and this is called the scientific way of representing a measurement. So instead of merely putting a unit, what you should do is you should report the measurement in a scientific notation or in terms of the order of magnitude, and then say that the trailing zeros are significant or not. So if you report the measurement in terms of the order of magnitude, and if there are zeros, trailing zeros in that measurement, then clearly the trailing zeros will become significant. That is the rule. So this is very clearly written in the NCERT text.